look. Big Ben. You know what I'm going to do, don't you?
What?
Look. Same. Don't you remember? You bought this for me on our first date.
Oh, in that tacky shop?
Rob, look at the view. It's divine.
We need to, talk. I need to say something.
Oh my God, Rob. I should have guessed. The romantic dinner, the riverside walk. Oh my God, this is so perfect. I think I know what you're going to say, or should I say ask?
No, Maggie. I think you've got the wrong name.
Right, yes, sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. Just pretend I didn't speak.
No. Okay, I mean...
Rob, should you be standing now? That's better. Now proceed.
Okay, well, as I was saying, we've been going out for over a year now, and I just don't feel that this is right for me. And I don't want to waste any more of your time, Maggie. I'm sorry, I really am.
What just happened? You broke up with me. You broke up with me while down on one knee. Nobody has ever broken up with anyone down on one knee before, ever. I hate you!
Hi, Eve.
Hi, Charles. Aren't you on your date?
That's just it. I'm waiting for her. I'm exactly where we said to meet, but she's running a bit late. I was just wondering how long it is I should wait.
Well, what time did you say you'd meet her?
7 p.m.
Charles, it's 9:15.
Yeah, she's definitely running late, but I don't want to leave in case she got lost or something.
I hate to break it to you, but you've been stood up.
Are you sure? I don't mind waiting longer.
Hold on a sec. Someone's at the door.
Quick! EC.
Easy.
EC, emergency Chardonnay. Get her a glass of wine. Use the big glass. Look, Charles, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go. I've got an emergency. Okay, please, just go home. I'll call you tomorrow.
You broke up with me. Rob broke up with me.
You're always getting dumped.
If I didn't need this glass of wine so much, I'd throw it on you.
Steve, don't be awful. Please leave.
But leave the bottle.
Rob broke up with you.
Yes, while down on one knee.
He broke up with you while down on one knee. Why would he do that?
Because I made him.
What? I'm confused.
Because I thought he was proposing.
Oh, darling, you thought it was going so well. Didn't just last week you used the word majestic?
Oh, I got that one wrong, didn't I? Oh, I knew I shouldn't have gone out with a man in the media.
Why?
Remember Julian?
Tall guy, brown hair.
The tall guy who was two-timing with his cousin, Freak. He worked in the media. I'm a firm believer in life's lessons. Learning from your mistakes, listening to fate. Fate told me not to go out with media types, and had I listened, then I wouldn't be sitting here downing yet another emergency Chardonnay while being consoled by you for the umpteenth time. I must obey my own rules.
Yeah, but if you can't date media types, then you can't date...
Teachers, because of Gary. Policemen, because of Lewis. Dance instructors, because of Stuart.
This is ridiculous, not to mention limiting.
Oh, it doesn't stop with occupations. No mummy's boys because of Rich. What a nightmare. No wannabe gourmet chefs. No vegans. And most importantly, no unicycle enthusiasts.
Who rode a unicycle?
No one. Those things just freak me out.
Look, you're upset and you're allowed to be angry, but please, let's not start again with these rules.
Here's a rule for you. It's rude not to offer your guest another Chardonnay when they've finished their wine for well over 2 minutes.
So, do you really think this is it with you and Rob?
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, did you hear that?
What?
My biological clock ticking away.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous. You're 29.
It's all right for you to say. You're as good as married, even though I'd rather be single than go out with a man like him.
I heard that.
Stop listening to our conversations. Steve?
Look, I am sorry, Maggie. But remember, it's always IVF.
Ignore him, he's a knob.
Yes, he is. So why are you still with him?
He's got a good side, honestly. You'll just never get to see it.
I don't want to go home tonight.
Good. You're staying with me. We'll put Steve on the blow-up bed.
Thanks. Now, can a girl get a drink around here?
Hello?
Charles, hi. Sorry I had to suddenly go. How are you?
Good, yeah, fine.
I'm sorry about your date. What's all that noise? Wait a second, you're not still waiting for her?
Well, I still thought she might show up, and I wouldn't want to be rude.
It's midnight. When a woman is 6 hours late, she's really not going to show up. I'm sorry to be blunt, but you've been stood up.
Hey! At least I ended my streak tonight.
What streak?
No dates in over a year.
Charles, you still haven't had a date. Being stood up doesn't count.
So I guess it's 13 months and counting.
Go home, Charles. I'll call you tomorrow.
Please do so, Eve. Thank you. It's nice having a friend like you.
Poor Maggie. She invested over a year in Rob.
Oh, Maggie's a big girl, she'll get over it. And do you know why?
Why?
Because she got over Jack, and Jim, and Joe, and Julian. That's just the J's.
Right now I like you as much as mildew.
So that mean I won't be getting any tonight?
What are you talking about? Get off. I don't know, I want to get her back on the dating scene again.
Yeah, no, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if she wants to keep up her current pace, getting dumped every 3 months.
I'm not listening. She just needs the opportunity to go and mix with other people. I mean, look at Charles. He hasn't had a date in over 13 months. Wait a second.
Oh, no. No.
Maggie and Charles, they're perfect for each other.
Yeah, in a misery loves company sort of way.
I know I didn't think of it before. We'll invite them out for drinks this week.
But it's a problem even you can't solve.
Oh, come on. They're both so quirky. They can be quirky together.
You really think they'll agree to a setup like this?
Yeah. I'll sell them to each other. Just watch me.
Hello?
Hello, Charles. How are you?
Eve, hi. I'm ever so glad you called. I ran into the woman I had the date with, or stood me up, I should say. Anyway, I ran into her in my local shop, and she acted like nothing had happened. Is this a good thing?
No, Charles. Forget about her.
But
No buts. I've got the perfect woman for you.
you do?
Yep. And you're going to have so much in common. I just know it.
A setup? I don't know.
Oh, come on. You were telling me the other day you hadn't had a date in over a year. 13 months to be exact. I mean, I'm only talking something casual, maybe drinks on Thursday?
She's not extremely overweight, is she?
No, she's very pretty and she's got a great personality.
Great personality. That means she's fat.
She's not fat. Bloody hell, Charles, I'm doing you a real favour here.
She's not one of those really hot birds with no brains, is she?
She's got brains. She's very clever.
She's pretty, great personality, and clever. Why is she single then?
Well, you're single. It's just that you haven't met the right person yet.
I don't know. I think I might pass on this one.
Charles, you can't afford to pass on anyone.
What does that mean?
Oh, come on, you've not had a date in over a year.
Please stop saying that. I'm trying not to think about it.
Hang on, call waiting. Hello, I've just been thinking about you.
He's got a girlfriend.
Who?
Rob, that's who.
That didn't take long.
Worst of all, she's blonde and she's skinny.
All the more reason for you to forget about him and move on. I've got somebody just ideal for you.
Not interested.
Why not?
Because I don't do setups. Anyway, I've already made up my mind about my next boyfriend. He's going to be a podiatrist from Putney. Oh, and he's going to be into gardening. Serious gardening. Like, he has his own allotment and everything.
It describes my friend to a T.
It does?
Yeah, I mean, he's not a podiatrist or from Putney, but he does love garden peace.
Eve, I'm in a crisis here and you're making bad dad jokes.
It's just, I really want you to meet him. I mean, he's really into antiques and old things and wants to meet somebody that also likes old things too.
Sounds interesting.
So, when do you want to meet him? Oh, hang on, that reminds me. 1 minute. Sorry, Charles, forgot about you there.
Not the first time a female said that.
Look, listen, this friend of mine, she loves jazz and antiques and old things. I mean, and clothes. She loves dressing up in new clothes. When was the last time you went shopping?
We've had this conversation before, Eve. You know my clothes never wear out.
Well, I think now's the time to go and get yourself something new. After all, if you're going to meet Miss Wright. Speaking of which, when do you want to meet her?
Miss Wright, tonight. Your friend never. Must be going. Goodbye.
Oh, Charles? Charles? Hi, I'm back.
Is he good looking?
Oh, well, I guess so, yeah.
That means no. Does he have any baggage?
What?
You know, divorces, children, exes with restraining orders.
Oh, no exes with restraining orders.
What does he do for a living?
He teaches physics at London University.
No way. I don't go out with teachers and I especially don't go out with scientists.
Why?
Remember Oliver?
I don't remember you going out with
He
him.
was a chemist.
Oh, was he the kinky chemist? Oh, no, that was disgusting.
I didn't tell you the half of it.
Enough small talk. When do you want to meet my friend?
Let's see, I'll just look at my diary. I'm busy on the 2nd, got plans on the 3rd. Oh, here we are. Let's do the 4th of never. Bye.
Oh, Maggie! Maggie! Well, that went well.
Well, how did it go?
Bloody awful. They're basically refusing to come within 100 miles of each other.
They'll never know the true love they could have had if only they could have gazed into each other's eyes just once.
And they will.
How?
I'll invite them both over to dinner without either of them knowing.
Eve, that's downright manipulative.
It's perfect. They'll thank me for it one day.
Smells good. Wish you went to this much effort for me.
I do, just not every night. Now, out of my kitchen, you.
What time are the weirdos coming?
They're not weirdos, don't call them that. There are a few things I need to tell you, though. Charles has got this birthmark thing just at the side of his mouth that looks like a piece of food. So whatever happens, just don't mention it. He's got a real insecurity about it.
Birthmark that looks like a piece of food? Nice.
It's not funny, he's got real issues about it. Whatever happens, don't mention any story revolving around tragedy or death around Maggie.
Why?
Because she bursts into hysterics.
What?
It's some rare condition where, rather than crying when you hear something tragic, you start giggling.
You're kidding me.
Honestly, it's really embarrassing. I remember this one time this old lady was telling us how her prize poodles had been knocked down by an ice cream van. And Maggie just went into hysterics. I mean, she apologises profusely afterwards, but we don't want to go there, if you know what I mean. There's no death stories, okay?
No. We don't want that now, do we?
Oh, when Charles gets nervous, he starts telling jokes. Only, he tends to laugh right the way through the punchline, so you never quite know what he said. So when you think he's got to the end, just laugh.
That's ridiculous. I'm not going to laugh just for the sake of his feelings if I can't hear it.
Steve, just laugh.
How's that?
I think you'll have to be a little bit more convincing. Now, I'll tell you a little secret about Charles. When he fancies someone, he starts rubbing his neck.
As opposed to wagging his tail. What is it with these people?
He looks really cute and he doesn't realise he's doing it.
But I'm sure he'd stop if he knew.
Yeah, but it means that we'll know straight away if he finds Maggie attractive.
How am I supposed to remember all of these things?
That'll be Maggie. Now go out there, be nice, and pour her a nice glass of wine.
Easy?
No, just a normal sea.
Hello, Maggie.
Oh, it's you. I was hoping you wouldn't be here.
Well, I was hoping to. But let's make the most of what's obviously going to be an excruciatingly painful evening. Oh, now they are lovely.
They're not for you. Hello?
Hi!
Why are there 4 place settings?
Oh, I invited a friend.
Better not be Charles.
What?
Charles, the bloke you were trying to set me up with.
How do you know I was trying to set you up with Charles?
Simple deduction. All your male friends are married or living with their girlfriends, except for Charles, who you mention from time to time is perpetually single. Tell me, Eve Miller, that you didn't invite him if you know what's good for you.
Don't worry, I invited a new friend. He works with me, only started last week. His name's Sam.
Ooh, Sammy. Love that name. I was going to call my first child Sammy. Wait, you're not trying to set me up with him, are you? Unless, of course, he's a podiatrist from Putney.
He's not a Putney podiatrist, and no, this is not a setup. They're lovely flowers.
Oh, they're for you.
Oh, thanks.
Sit down, Maggie. Take her weight off.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing.
Steve, will you come and help me in the kitchen for a minute?
This is never gonna work.
It's got to work.
What are you gonna tell Charles?
I don't know yet. I'll think about that when he gets here. Just let me answer the door, okay?
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive.
Save me the scruples. That must be Sammy. 10 minutes early. Hi, Charles.
Hi, I brought some wine.
Oh, lovely. Look, before we go upstairs, invited a friend over, Maggie. It's just, she's devastated because her pet goldfish died last night.
Oh dear.
The only problem is, his name was Charles.
Oh.
So I wondered if we could call you Sammy tonight?
Of course. She must be feeling awful. I'd prefer Samuel not to be picky.
Samuel, that's fine. This is Sammy. This is my good friend Maggie.
Nice to meet you, Sammy.
Nice to make your acquaintance, Margaret.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Dinner will be served.
I'm so sorry to hear about your loss, Margaret.
Oh, right, well, thank you.
These things are never easy.
Yes, well, especially as I thought he was going to propose.
So, Sammy, read any good books lately?
Oh, yes. I've just finished the latest Terry Pratchett novel. Outstanding.
He loves to read. He's very ritualistic about it, aren't you? What's the day you always read on that you don't like me to disturb you?
Sunday's my reading day, you know that.
I read on Sundays. I love to read on Sundays.
Yes, I find it very therapeutic.
Exactly. So relaxing. Perfect end to the weekend.
Have I told you too about my latest project?
No.
No.
It's called Future Art Reduces Tyranny. F Art. Basically, what we do, we commission artists to produce politically charged works of art that affect us so profoundly they can change the world. I know it sounds a bit pretentious, but think of how many single images in history have affected us. The Chinese student standing outside the tank in Tiananmen Square, or that famous image of Anne Frank in 1943.
You need to stop trying to save every needy person in the world.
Starting with you.
What gives miserable people the right to tell the rest of us how to live?
What's your thoughts, Sammy?
I think that anything that Eve's involved in is of the utmost valour, and I support her wholeheartedly.
Oh, Sammy, you've just got a little bit of food just there.
It's a birthmark. And yes, as the name implies, I've had it since birth. It is not a piece of food.
I'm sorry.
So, look over there, on the mantelpiece, the F Art sculpture. What do you think?
Oh my goodness, what have we got there?
Oh, I think we just got it from a charity shop.
This is most rare. A 1942 Gold Hawkware Limited. I've been looking for one of these for years.
You can have it, honestly, it's just an ornament.
Just an ornament? I collect soldiers of the world. I've got well over 100.
Just take it, your dinner's getting cold.
I can't just take it. One of these is worth well over £300 on eBay. When they're available, of course.
Honestly, have it, it's yours.
Oh, wait a second, look. If Sammy feel better about buying from us, we shouldn't stop him. You say it's worth 300?
That's the starting bid usually, but this one's in incredible condition.
I have noticed that, actually. Should we just say 4 then?
I would be tempted, you know. Look at his hands.
We are not taking £300 for that. Honestly, it's yours.
We prefer cash.
Shut up. You can just give us a cheque for a few quid.
And none of that post-dating shenanigans you're so fond of.
I beg your pardon? I've never post-dated a cheque in my life.
He's joking.
So you collect those, do you, Sammy?
And toy cannons as well. You can shoot real matchsticks with them.
I got a joke. There's these two meteorologists. They're on a camping trip, and they're both sitting there by the campfire. The first meteorologist says to the second one, "Look at that beautiful waxing moon." And the second one says, It's waning." The first one says, That's funny, 'cause I don't feel any drops.
Wait a second. Why are you laughing? Was that the punchline? That's hardly any way to tell a joke, is it, Sammy? I mean, laughing all the way through it. I totally missed it.
I read an article recently that says that people's simple preferences in life says a lot about their personalities. For example, whether they prefer tea or coffee.
Coffee. Can't live without my double espressos.
Tea?
Definitely tea.
You know, I don't think I'd bother getting up in the morning if I didn't know there was a nice warm cuppa waiting for me.
Exactly. Tea is like one of my best friends.
One of your only friends.
Steve. Okay, the theatre or the cinema?
Cinema.
The theatre.
Yes, the theatre. I must admit I'm a sucker for a sappy musical.
I once got thrown out of The Sound of Music for singing along.
A totally forgivable offence, Margaret.
God's sake.
Shut up. Okay, beer or wine?
Beer?
Well, I am rather partial to a fine wine.
Me too. I couldn't live without my Chardonnay.
Now, have you ever had the 1990 Vanderbilt Special Reserve?
No.
Put it on the list of things to do before you die. I'm serious.
Right. I think we're getting sidetracked.
How about a computer or a typewriter?
Who in their right mind is going to say?
Typewriter. I can't explain it. I just love watching those little arms stamp the paper.
I have got a 1963 Royal Aristocrat. My grandmother gave it to me. I use it almost every week.
Terrific. I dare say I could type on my manual typewriter just as quickly as anyone using a newfangled computer.
Newfangled? What bloody era are you living in?
Steve, enough. Okay, takeaways. Indian or Chinese?
Well, I like food so hot it makes me sweat, so Indian.
Chinese.
Yup, Chinese. Although actually I prefer Thai these days.
So do I. Have you ever been to the Green Elephant in Islington?
I love the Green Elephant.
I go there at least once a week.
The chicken pad Thai is heavenly.
I go there when I'm feeling a bit down. It always lifts my spirits.
In fact, I went there the day after my father passed away.
Your father passed away.
I'm sure you don't want to bring it up now.
It's good to get these things off your chest. How did he die?
You don't want to talk about that now.
No, Steve's right. It's best to get these things off my chest. He died of Parkinson's. Well, not of Parkinson's. They say you die with it, not of it.
Worst thing is, when my mother was spending nights with him in the hospital, in his final days, she ended up getting pneumonia and had to be hospitalised. So she wasn't in my dad's ward when he died the next day.
Charles, I'm so sorry. She can't control her laughing, it's this condition.
Never heard of that, have you?
It is strange.
I'm sorry about your father. Have some more wine.
Sammy, I'm so sorry about your father.
Well, let's steer clear of tragedies.
Can't talk about Maggie's life then. What's that?
Nothing.
Vampire teeth. What the hell are those for?
Did you go to a fancy dress party?
No. Well, if you must know, Steve. I read somewhere that muggers use the element of surprise to attack. So if you can throw them off for a split second, then you can escape. So, whenever I'm in a dodgy area, I stick these in.
Very ingenious, Margaret. I like the way you think.
Then, I hit him with this.
What's that? Anti-flea kill.
Well, pepper spray is illegal in the UK, Steve.
Well, I think it's quite novel.
So you're a vampire with insect repellents. What should we call you? Count Pesticide?
Just leave it, Steve. You alright?
Oh, don't worry. It's just, when you get muscle cleanses around your heart and it really hurts.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're scaring me.
Don't worry. I just need to try and move in just the right way.
He's having a heart attack.
No, it's just this thing with the...
Do something, Steve!
I can't breathe.
Steve! You don't perform the Heimlich maneuver on somebody having a heart attack.
You're killing him. You're killing him.
That's it. Oh, that fixed it. Oh, thanks, Steve.
Don't mention it.
Chardonnay. Where's my Chardonnay?
Bloody hell, Charles, I thought you were a goner then.
What did you just call him?
Sammy, it's a long story.
Love to hear it.
Boring, actually.
That's enough, you two. Let's talk about Sammy. So, Sammy, what do you do for a living?
I'm a physics professor.
So, you teach physics.
Yes, but I do research as well.
Popular line of work these days, being a physicist, isn't it?
No, it's a small community of us, actually.
Will you pour me a glass of wine, please, Charles?
Yes, of course.
Eve.
Wait a second. I thought I was Sammy tonight.
Eve. Kitchen. Now.
You've got some explaining to do. I'm sorry, but you wouldn't have come if I'd have told you. And I had your best interests at heart. You have to admit he's a nice guy.
I'm not interested in the least in men in the science profession or the teaching profession. Full stop.
I know. But come on.
I'll be on my way now. Steve, will you please pass my handbag? Goodbye, Steve. Good night, Charles. It's lovely to meet you, and it's not your fault you're a physicist.
Does this have anything to do with our goldfish?
What?
It's a long story.
No, I think Charles has the right to know what's happened here tonight. You see, Charles, Eve has been doing a little matchmaking.
Ah, so that was your friend, the one you were talking about. Well, that explains her jazzy clothes.
You
Yeah.
must feel a little duped, Charles.
Actually, I quite like Margaret. It's a pity she had to go so soon.
See, Steve, not such an evil do-gooder after all.
Do you think that I made a good impression?
Oh, definitely. Especially the stuff about the Beefeater collection. Girls love that.
Hey, does this mean that I broke my 13 months without a date streak?
No, Charles.
Margaret, well, hi. How are you? Now, I'm ever so glad I bumped into you. I've been thinking about your goldfish. I know this won't replace Charles, but maybe you should get a new one. It's probably the best way to move on. You don't like my idea? Pardon? Vampire teeth? Why are you wearing them? This isn't a dodgy neighbourhood. I live right around the corner.
There are actually some dodgy characters looming around here. I mean, that is graffiti over there.
This is a very safe place to live.
I have done my research, Charles. If you bother to look at the Metropolitan Police's crime statistics, you will discover there have been 2 muggings, 1 indecent exposure and 1 dog napping, and that's just in the last 6 months.
Nevertheless, I don't think you should be wearing your Dracula teeth in broad daylight.
Oh, have you got a rash? It's just you keep scratching.
No, it just itches sometimes, that's all.
You might want to call a doctor about that. Bye.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Good sources tell me that Rob was seeing his blonde tart before we broke up.
Good.
What do you mean, good?
Further proof that he wasn't good enough for you in the first place, and more reason to get over him.
Yes, but if you were in my shoes, wouldn't you be fuming?
If I were in your shoes, I wouldn't be letting a bloke like Charles slip through my fingers, but...
Eve, how can you mention his name after the stunt you pulled? I'm still bloody cross with the whole event.
I know.
I will admit he was good company. Very pleasant, easy to talk to, but truth be told, it was Steve that ruined that evening. Why are you with that plonker?
You don't know him like I do. He's different with me, and he's had a hard life. His stepmother was vile. I have talked to him about the way he is. He knows what he's like.
I think the only reason you're with him is because he's a money-hungry, step-on-the-poor Tory boy, and if you fix him, then there'll be one less person like him in the world, and if you do that, you might even move on.
I'm not supposed to tell you this, but he's agreed to go to therapy.
You serious?
He's there now.
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
My missus thinks I'm in therapy right now.
Nice.
Thing is, you'll be seeing a lot more of me, because I told her I'd come twice a week. Well, I suppose you could call it therapy.
Liquid therapy?
So, any luck finding a podiatrist from Putney with a garden, and does he have to have a rose tattoo?
No. Anyway, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go out with a civil engineer. I've been doing some reading, and apparently they're very clever, very caring, and passionate.
Charles could be all of those things, without the civil engineer bit, of course.
Oh, I meant to mention, I ran into Charles the other day.
Yeah?
I think I may have insulted his neighbourhood. I feel really bad.
No, what did you say?
You wouldn't mind giving him a call and checking that he's not mad at me, would you?
Oh, okay, maybe I could invite him out to dinner again.
Drop it. Just make the call.
Right.
What are you going to say?
I don't know, I'll just say you mentioned that you bumped into him.
Well, just be casual.
Hi, Eve.
Hi, Charles.
Guess who I ran into the other day?
I don't know. Who?
Margaret?
Really?
I must say, I found her a bit disconcerting.
Oh, hang on a minute. I'm losing a bit of signal. Let me just move somewhere else. Really? Why?
It's probably due to the fact that I'm so darned attracted to her.
Well, that's no bad thing. Let me just get some better signal. I'm losing you. I'll have to call you later. All right, bye. Steve.
Eve.
Steve.
Eve.
Let me guess. That's the girlfriend. Awkward. I'll give you 2 a minute.
Yes, I think I'll give you 2 a minute too.
Steve.
Well, have you kicked the bastard out yet?
Hi.
Oh, please tell me you're through with him.
It's not as simple as that. Where are you?
On my bike.
It's really noisy.
No, I can hear you just fine.
Look, what are you doing later? Could really do with talking to someone. Do you fancy coming over for dinner?
Bloody flying rat! Oh! Pigeon's got a death wish. Dinner sounds great. Are we there for 7?
Okay, see you then. What's that?
Oh, open it. Come on.
It's a box of chocolates.
It's not just any box of chocolates. It's from that posh chocolatier down the street.
You lied to me about therapy and you expect a box of chocolates to fix it.
Yeah, well, it's a start. Anyway, it's my way of helping out. Thought you could have them for dessert tonight.
You're joking, aren't you? Have you never seen Maggie with a box of chocolates? She seriously gets disgusting. She can't stop at one. Just hide them, Steve.
Okay.
That's Maggie. I'll get it. Those chocolates better be gone.
Sure you don't want to stay, Steve?
Oh, suppose I could.
No, please leave.
Have fun.
Bye.
I can't believe you're giving him a second chance. He hasn't even changed at all.
You know what he said? He said I had a fat little bottom.
He is doing his best.
Does Charles think I'm a complete loon then?
No, not at all. Trust me, I know Charles.
What?
Shall I tell you a little secret?
Go ahead.
You can't tell Steve.
Like Steve and I would have any conversations without you. Come on, spill.
I fancied the pants off him.
Really?
Back at university. Of course, he didn't know I existed. Didn't fancy me one bit.
How do you know?
Trust me, with Charles, when he fancies someone, I know. So, F Art has commissioned this amazing Zambian artist to do a whole selection of work depicting a series of climate and political change in her homeland.
Does that have something to do with it?
Are you ready for the big reveal? Prepare to be amazed. She has so many of these paintings in her, but her country won't let her show them, so we must get her over here.
It really says something. So is this your big news?
No, that's something totally unexpected.
Who's that? Just tell me.
It must be Steve. Charles, what are you doing here?
You invited me for pudding.
I did. I'm not sure what's going on.
How do I look? Jazzy?
Jazzy, yeah. Definitely jazzy.
Hello, Margaret.
Charles.
Eve, kitchen please, now.
How could you?
I didn't.
You did.
I'm as confused as you are.
I'm not confused.
Hang on. Charles, when exactly did I invite you over tonight?
You texted me an hour ago.
Right. Steve, look. I'll kill him.
What are we going to do? We've got Charles out there.
Have pudding, I guess.
I suppose we're going to have to.
Sorry about that, Charles. We're with you now.
Margaret, this is the wine I was telling you about. 1990 Van der Velk Special Reserve.
Ooh, wait a minute. Let me just finish what I have. Wouldn't want to mix.
Eve,
No, none for me.
cheers.
Cheers. That's divine. Thank you, Charles. This may have been the best Chardonnay I've ever tasted. Who's that?
Hello, everyone. Charles, glad to see you could make it.
What are you doing back so soon? And I know what you did. You're really messing up just in case you hadn't realised.
I thought you'd appreciate being with your old lover again.
What are you talking about? And you drunk.
Not drunk enough.
That's a very fine bottle of wine you've got there, Stephen. You might not want to...
I want to what? Get drunk. Think again. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Let's lighten the tone, shall we? Charles, what's new with you?
Well, I've been keeping this little book here. I call it Things That I've Learned. I've written down in here. Don't try and figure everything out. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the beauty.
I like that.
Have you ever thought about publishing your little black book of bollocks? I mean, a wisdom.
Steve, give it back.
Find your voice. What the hell does that mean?
That's personal. You shouldn't be reading that.
That's all right. I wrote that when I found out there was a natural place for my voice to come from. But whenever I'm stressed or nervous, it gets a little higher, so my voice is less pleasant to hear.
I think that's a guy thing.
Not a guy thing, it's a gay thing.
Here you go, Charles.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but I can't stand that poor starving boy staring at me all evening.
Oh my God! What is that horrible thing?
That's great. It shows the painting's really having an effect on both of you. Doesn't it make you want to ship aid out to a country?
Well, it is rather a good composition, Eve.
You're the perfect gentleman, aren't you, Charlie?
Stephen, I prefer Charles.
Sorry. I've got a little surprise for everyone. Ooh.
Steve, pudding's nearly ready.
No, this is pre-pudding. Best chocolates in town.
Chocolates, me.
You really think you should be doing this?
What?
You know, chocolates.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I'm over it now. Lovely.
They're from Brazil.
Yummy.
Hey!
I did not spend all afternoon working on dessert for you to ruin it.
Just one more.
No.
So, Charlie.
I don't like this Charlie thing you developed,
I
Stephen.
must say, Charlie, I don't like this Stephen thing you've developed. It's not my name.
What's it short for? Stephanie?
Steve. It's just Steve.
Your parents couldn't be bothered to give you a proper two-syllable name.
Well, it's better than being the queen of illogic, as Eve so lovingly refers to you as.
What?
I do not.
Liar. You're always telling me about her illogical behaviour. She's afraid of public transport, yet she cycles round the city without a helmet, talking on a mobile phone, drinking a coffee.
That's a talent.
I don't know what he's talking
And
about.
she's so paranoid about checking the packaging on her food. Yet she leaves the milk out all day and still drinks it.
What have you been telling him?
I haven't said any of that. It's just that sometimes you can be a little illogical.
No.
Don't you remember that day we went to Brighton? And you asked that fisherman to throw his fish back?
The fish was dying. You should have seen it. Struggling on for life. Breathing in and out.
Yeah, but what did we have for dinner 20 minutes later?
I don't remember.
I do. Fish and chips.
That's different.
How?
Because the fish didn't have a face. Go into the loo.
Oh, Maggie, don't be upset.
Ooh, and you should hear what she says about you, Charlie Chalk. Wouldn't know pop culture if it smacked him in the face.
I never said that.
And how it's a shame you're not a mad professor, because you could make a companion.
That's not true. I never said that.
I know I'm not Mr. Pop Culture.
Can't you see what he's doing? He's trying to wind us both up.
And succeeding.
Thank you, Charlie.
It's Charles, you miserable sod. You've sat there all evening, taking your little bites out of us here and there because you're so miserable deep down, and you can't bear to see anyone else happy. Frankly, I don't think you deserve someone like Eve. I'm not going to sit here and let you do any more of this nonsense. Not tonight, nor any night.
No one talks to me like that. Especially you, Professor.
I must warn you, Stephen. I know Taekwondo.
Don't start fighting. And you had one lesson when you were 12, Charles.
It was a very thorough lesson.
This is ridiculous. Where's Maggie? What are you doing? I thought you were over this.
I remember it's really good chocolate.
Come on, everyone. Let's have a drink.
I can't drink.
Why?
Because I'm pregnant.
You're going to have a baby. Oh, I'm so happy for you. You'll be a wonderful mum. I'm going to be 30 soon. I'm never going to have a baby. I haven't even got a boyfriend.
You'll be fine, Maggie. You're awfully quiet.
You didn't know?
Was it that Johnny that broke?
Well, that's what I'm guessing, yeah. Shall I take it you're not happy with the great news? Right. I'm leaving.
Where are you going?
My mother's.
Can't believe it. She's not answering her phone. I'm really worried.
I know. This is horrid. Absolutely horrid.
No, it isn't. Should have left him a long time ago.
But she's pregnant.
Exactly. Now it's just a mess.
What do you think they'll do?
Oh, knowing Eve, she'll forgive him. She always does. Well, this is it. This is where I live.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Margaret, it's been an absolute pleasure.
I'm not tired. Are you tired?
No?
I mean, I couldn't get sleep now if my life depended on it.
Wild horses couldn't drag me to sleep.
Do you want to come in?
Yes, why not? Have you given my idea any more thought? You know, about getting yourself a new goldfish.
Charles, why do you have to be a scientist?
I'm not a scientist, I'm a physicist. Well, at least that's how I like to refer to myself.
But unfortunately, physics is a science.
Yes.
So you're a scientist.
Have you got something against science? You're not religious, are you?
You're so cute.
So you are religious then?
Shut up and kiss me.
Kiss you?
No, we can't. You're a physicist.
I'm thinking more about biology right now.
No, fate has spoken.
I'm not listening.
Listen, Charles. I've dated a scientist to absolutely devastating consequences before, so this absolutely positively cannot happen.
I don't really know what you're talking about, Margaret, but is it relevant?
Charles, keep it in your pants. This is a first date.
I haven't taken anything out of my pants. Never, not ever.
Never.
Well, not never, but sometimes. But,
Charles, why didn't you say?
I think I'd better leave while my dignity's still intact. Good evening, Margaret.
Night, Charles. This is a first date.
Charles, old boy, your streak's over.
Charles!
Oh, I was expecting Steve. I wanted to know how to get hold of you.
Oh, it's complicated. Come in. So after the night I stayed at my mother's, he called me. Said he'd stay at a friend's. And I've been here ever since.
Well, that's good of him, I guess.
Yeah.
So, what if you two never get back together? What will you do then?
I don't know. I guess there's always a private adoption. There's this couple in Efferat that are desperate for a child, but there's so much red tape. She'd make a great mum.
Wow, that's really noble.
I haven't made my mind up yet, though.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
A couple of days ago. It's funny. When we were together, he told me he was going to therapy, only actually he was going to the pub 2 or 3 nights a week. Now apparently he is in therapy. He's even got his therapist to write me a letter confirming so.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah. It's just so Steve. I hope he's doing it for the right reasons. Do you know, when we were at university, I really fancied you.
You did?
Yeah. I was just a silly first year. You didn't even know I existed.
I didn't?
No. I can always tell when you find someone attractive.
How can you tell?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It was a long time ago.
Right, well, I should be going. I've got 4 lectures tomorrow.
Charles,
Yes, Eve?
it was really nice seeing you. Be good if you came over again.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Charles, wait! Your little black book.
Oh, I've got a feeling I'll be adding to that tonight.
Yes, come in.
Hi, Cornelius. You got a second?
Of course, Charles. You don't look so good. It's not the man flu, is it?
No, it's much worse than that. Woman trouble.
Ah, right. Well, you've come to the right man. Let's do this properly.
We're going to go to the pub for a pint.
I don't think so, going to the pub. No, what we're going to do is mind smash this problem. What's her name?
Margaret.
Margaret.
What are you doing?
I'm making you a spreadsheet. We're going to input all of the information about you and Margaret. It'll tell us if you two are compatible.
Oh, I don't know, Corn. I don't think I can trust this to a newfangled computer. I think I'd better be going.
No, wait. I'm not going to let you leave without giving you some sort of advice. If you love her, tell her.
Thanks, Cornelius. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't tell her about your toy soldier collection if I were you.
Too late.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi, Eve, you alright?
Yeah, you?
Listen, I've been thinking, and once again you were right.
About what?
Charles.
What about him?
Well, if it wasn't for Steve those 2 nights, him and I might have, well, got together. And I really ought to give him a chance.
Well, actually, I was thinking for once you were right, and that maybe you shouldn't be together.
Hey, it's not like you to be so pessimistic. Why are you all negative all of a sudden?
No reason.
Well then, why not invite us round to dinner? You don't have to do anything fancy. You don't have to cook. We could get a takeaway. Chinese.
Okay, I suppose. It was really nice seeing you. Be good if you came over again. Here are the menus. See what you prefer. Pretty much everything sounds good to me right now.
Shouldn't we wait for Charles?
Oh, I thought I told you. He can't make it, unfortunately. He's... Oh! Who's that?
Surprise! Margaret.
Charles, great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Charles?
Hi, Eve.
So, you got any kids?
God, no.
Ever thought about having any?
Not as such.
Why is that?
Because neither my boyfriend nor I have a uterus.
Uteruses. Who needs them?
There I was in this restaurant and my boss walks in, sees my pearls and says, "Oh my God, you look like Princess Diana."
Do you remember that ecology class that we took?
You wrote all your notes on that hemp paper, and then you found out that you're allergic to it.
That's right. He had to read me all my revision notes over the phone.
So, Charles, isn't your car one of these cute little Citroens?
Yeah, a 2CV. They made them to lure the farmers away from the horse and carts. That's how old the design is.
That's fascinating.
Do you know, Eve once tried to set me up with a bloke with a smoked pipe.
So, that's considered distinguished.
Yes, I might have been able to overlook the pipe, but the Sherlock Holmes hat.
Oh my God! What happened? Come on. Come here. Poor thing.
Is anything broken?
No.
whether I'm happy or sad.
I know, it is a bit of a sticky situation. She is pregnant.
What do you think she'll do?
So many decisions.
I don't know about you, but I'm wired.
Should we go somewhere for a drink?
Don't be silly, just come inside.
I hope Steve's all right.
He's okay, I think. He's just a bit roughed up, that's all. I know what we need. Bit of humour. I've got a cracking joke. There was this barber, and he lived in this village, but he was the only barber in this village.
Stop it.
What, again?
I'm sorry, I just know this is going to end in tears.
But...
No buts. Please leave.
Margaret, I can't leave. There's something I must tell you. I lost my shoes.
What did you say?
I lost my shoes. Margaret, I'd like to thank you for yet another most interesting evening.
Likewise.
Margaret, hi.
Charles.
Now, I know this is a bit unexpected, and please forgive me for it, but I've taken the liberty of buying you a new goldfish. I know you'll never replace Charles, but I was passing a pet shop, and I thought he deserves a lovely owner just like yourself. Now, you can call him what you like, but I was thinking Sammy would be a good name.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me for a second.
Wait, please don't.
Too late. Just have.
Charles, please, I can explain. Charles.
Before I walk out of your life forever, I need to know why.
No reason, really.
Then I'm not going anywhere.
Anyway, you have to help me settle Sammy into his new home.